Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, everything you need to know. You've likely heard a lot about electric vehicles lately, as well as news about legislation to reduce carbon emissions from vehicles. But there's another kind of zero-emission vehicle, one that emits only water vapor as it carries you down the road. That's the hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, related to an EV but with specific differences that make hydrogen cars different and much rarer. To date, about 2.5 million EVs have been sold in the US. By contrast, as of mid-2022, 15,000 or fewer hydrogen-powered vehicles can be found. What is a hydrogen car? A hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, HFCV for short, uses the same kind of electric motor to turn the wheels that a battery electric car does. But it's powered not by a large, heavy battery but by a fuel cell stack in which pure hydrogen, H2, passes through a membrane to combine with oxygen, O2, from the air, producing the electricity that turns the wheels plus water vapor. What this means is that a fuel cell vehicle is technically a series hybrid, which is why they are sometimes classified as fuel cell hybrid electric vehicles, FCHEV. To scientists, hydrogen isn't actually a fuel but an energy carrier. Ignore that distinction, though, because HFCV drivers refill their vehicles' carbon fiber high-pressure tanks at hydrogen fueling stations, very similar in concept to the old reliable gas station, with a similar 5-minute refueling time. You may hear that hydrogen is the most common element in the universe. At the atomic level, that's true, but hydrogen is never found in its pure state. It's always combined with other elements. Its strong propensity to bind with anything in sight makes it a good energy carrier. Creating pure hydrogen for vehicles requires using a great deal of energy to crack a compound like natural gas, CH4, into pure H2, with CO2 as a byproduct. Most hydrogen today is derived from fossil fuels like natural gas. Run through a fuel cell, the hydrogen immediately gives back that energy, in the form of electricity, as soon as it combines with oxygen. Out of the exhaust pipe comes only water vapor. Global Auto Hub Germany is in sharp focus. It is already betting billions on hydrogen fuel in sectors like steel and chemicals to meet climate targets, and closely fought elections this month could see the Greens enter the coalition government and further push the technology. BMW is hydrogen's biggest proponent among Germany's carmakers, charting a path to a mass-market model around 2030. The company also has one eye on shifting hydrogen policies in Europe and in China, the world's largest car market. The Munich-based premium player has developed a hydrogen prototype car based on its X5 SUV, in a project already partly funded by the German government. Jürgen Guldner, the BMW vice president who heads up the hydrogen fuel cell car program, told Reuters the carmaker would build a test fleet of close to 100 cars in 2022. Whether this technology is driven by politics or demand, we will be ready with a product, he said, adding that his team is already working to develop the next-generation vehicles. VW's premium Audi brand told Reuters it had assembled a team of more than 100 mechanics and engineers who were researching hydrogen fuel cells on behalf of the whole Volkswagen Group, and had built a few prototype cars. For years Japanese carmakers Toyota, 7203.T, Nissan, 7201.T, and Honda, 7267.T, and South Korea's Hyundai, were alone in developing and pushing hydrogen fuel cell cars, but now they have company. China is expanding its hydrogen fueling infrastructure, with several carmakers now working on fuel cell cars, including Great Wall Motor, 601633.SS, which plans to develop hydrogen-powered SUVs. The EU wants to build more hydrogen fueling stations for commercial vehicles. Fitch Solutions auto analyst Joshua Cobb said the bloc was only likely to start pushing hydrogen passengers' cars in 2 to 3 years' time, given it was still figuring out how to pay for its battery electric car push and how to obtain enough green hydrogen from renewable sources. Hydrogen cars currently available. Since 2015, 3 hydrogen-powered cars have been offered for sale from 3 different car companies: the Honda Clarity Fuel Cell, the Hyundai Nexo SUV, and the Toyota Mirai. But Honda has now ended production of all models of the Clarity, and Hyundai has sold fewer than 1,500 Nexo SUVs thus far. Toyota, the company most devoted to hydrogen power as an alternative to battery electric vehicles, has sold roughly 10,700 Mirai sedans across 2 generations in the US, though in some periods it resorted to substantial discounting to move them. Honda does not break out sales of its Clarity fuel cell model from the plug-in hybrid and battery electric Clarity versions.